Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 27th November 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 6 topics which are very much relevant from our UPSC point of view. So first, let us try to see which are the topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first article, it is about new variant of concern. And actually this is the new variant of this COVID-19 which is spreading very fast in South Africa. So now WHO, that is World Health Organization, which mainly said that, so this variant, it is a new variant of concern and the name of that new variant is Omicron. Okay, so here you need to know about this Omicron. So why? Because in prelims you can get a question like Omicron is seen in news. So what it is related to? So in this way you can get a very simple question. So there will be like option like a new spacecraft or a new asteroid which may be found or new meteorite. So like that you will be getting some options. So they will ask you to select the correct option. So here Omicron, it is a new variant of concern of our COVID-19. Okay, so this topic is important from our health, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about multi-dimensional index. Okay, so for the first time Niti Aayog which came up with this multi-dimensional poverty index in India. So this article which mainly talks about some highlights of that report and why we need this type of reports or why we need this type of data. I already explained you that whenever you are having a proper data or when you are having a proper data regarding how much amount of poverty that is present in so and so state. So based on that, here state governments or central government which will come up with a policy to address those reasons, because poverty is one of the important root cause for every problem. For example, I can say like increasing of crimes, increasing of threat, increasing of I can say like theft and as well as dacoity. And not only that, it will also leads to increasing of some socio-economical problems in that area. So first, if you are dealing with this poverty and if you are trying to come out of this poverty or if you are taking some steps to come out of this poverty, automatically there will be better standard of living that is mainly ensured in that place, and that will also lead to decreasing of crime rate, and that will also helpful for improving of health of people, that will also helpful for dealing with malnutrition. And even the recent report which mainly says that there is increasing of stunting, there is increasing of wasting, right? So that is a pure research report. So here what is the root cause? That is poverty. So this poverty is very important topic under your social issues and as well as society. Okay, so this topic it is important from governance now, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2. And next topic it is about Russia, India, China meet reveals Indo-Pacific Gap. So actually now yesterday's lecture we studied about this SCO summit, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So this article which is extension of our yesterday's article. So whatever the thing that we are discussing today, please try to relate with yesterday's article. Then this is the good approach to study our current affairs, because current affairs it is not at all complete in one day. So there will be some developments that will be happening on everyday basis. So your work it is to mainly correlate yesterday's news with today's news and today's news with tomorrow's news, such that there will be a completion of that topic which mainly seen. And this is the way to read this current affairs. And if you see here, this article mainly focusing on especially Asia Pacific region and as well as Indo-Pacific region. So we are going to see what are the things which mainly said by China and as well as Russia here regarding this Indo-Pacific region and Asia Pacific region. So this topic is important from our international relations point of view, and this mainly comes under our GS paper 2. And next topic it is about Covishield vaccine. So how much it is effective regarding this Delta variant. So there is a report, we are going to discuss that report. Again this topic is important from our health, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic it is about NFHS, that is National Family Health Survey 5. So from last 3 to 4 days onwards we are discussing this topic. And again let us have a look over this topic once again. So this topic is important from our health, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about shore up the lifeline. It is about our MGNREGA scheme. So in yesterday's lecture, we said about one article regarding there is about 10,000 crore rupees which are mainly allocated for this MGNREGA scheme, which is mainly some additional amount. So here we need to discuss about this topic very much. And apart from this, there is also article regarding GST. Yesterday we discussed about 4 slabs that is converted into 3 slabs. So that is also important. And also there is one more article regarding Amul milk, okay, Amul cooperative. So that is regarding this milk. So you can refer some cooperative societies related articles and cooperative societies related things from our polity point of view. You can open your Lakshmikant and you can see that cooperative societies. Okay, so we are not going to discuss that GST and as well as cooperative societies. So it is your work to do that. Okay, and now let us try to see the first article. Title says Omicron New Variant of Concern. So if you see this infographic, it mainly shows that this newly discovered Omicron, so the name which is given is B1.1529, okay, B1.1529 variant. So this is the one new variant which is mainly spreading in South Africa, and the name which is given for this new variant is Omicron, and it mainly classified as variant of concern. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said, and here it is mainly seen in spread in South Africa, Botswana, Hong Kong, Belgium, Israel, Denmark, etc. As I said, this topic is important from our health, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So let us try to see context and let us try to see some important details which are given in this article as well. So why it is a cause of concern now? So if you see in India, we are mainly talking that international flights to be resumed. That means we need to start our international flights. So whenever the flights which are mainly moving in these countries with this variant of concern which is spreading, means it is also one cause of concern for India. That may lead to third wave, fourth wave, etc. So here we are mainly thinking about this thing, okay, regarding this international flights. So now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that our WHO, that is World Health Organization. So our World Health Organization classified this new variant B11529. Okay, so this is the name, that is B11529 variant, which mainly detected in South Africa as SARS coronavirus variant of concern. So here WHO mainly decided this variant which is mainly spreading in the South Africa as variant of concern because it is spreading very fast than compared to other variants which we saw earlier. If you are talking about some details, it mainly says that preliminary evidence which mainly suggested that there is an increased risk of reinfection. So even though if you have done with your vaccination, that is 2 doses of vaccination, so even though there is increased risk of reinfection with this variant, so this is one cause of concern. And infection in South Africa had risen steeply, that is very rapid increasing of infection in South Africa in recent weeks. It is mainly coinciding with detection of variant now which mainly designated as Omicron. Okay, so this is a thing which mainly said by not me but by World Health Organization, and this variant has been detected as faster rates than compared to that of our previous surges in infection. So previously we saw many variants like alpha variant, beta variant, delta variant, kappa variant, but based on all these variants, now this variant which is very much fast in spreading. Okay, so because of this, now let us try to see some important noted points that you need to refer regarding this article. So earlier WHO, that is World Health Organization, which mainly cautioned countries against hastily imposing travel restrictions linked to this Omicron variant, and saying that here countries they need to take a risk-based and as well as scientific approach. So whenever countries are mainly going for this international travel restrictions, that means whenever we are going for relaxation of this international travel restrictions, that means in India also we are saying that we are going to resume our international flights. So here governments which need to take risk-based and as well as scientific-based approach before going for opening of their international flights. So while medical experts, they warn against any co-reaction before the variant was better understood. So before going to take any steps, we need to go for analysis regarding this so-and-so variant. So we need to go for risk and as well as we need to analyze the benefits here. So based on that, we can go for taking of next step. So this is a thing which mainly said by even medical experts. So this is gist of this topic. Here, what is your homework? Here your homework is mainly to see what is this variant of concern. Okay. So you need to understand what is the meaning of variant of concern. Already we discussed number of times regarding this. So now it is your duty to ensure that you do revision regarding this variants of concern. And you are also need to know about different variants like alpha variant, gamma variant, delta variant, kappa variant, etc. And now let us move on to next topic. Title says over 50% of Bihar population multidimensionally poor. It is according to Niti Aayog report. So here if you see this infographic, it mainly talking about poverty index which came up by this Niti Aayog. Already you know that Niti Aayog is one of the important think tank, right? So it came up with a report regarding this poverty index. And if you keenly examine this infographic, you can see here northern India, and if you see here southern India, they are performing good. But here in this central India and some states of northeastern India, they are not going good. So poverty is high in the central India and as well as northern India, northeastern India. So let me know what is your opinion regarding why there is a poverty which is high in the central India and as well as in northeastern India. So I want to know about your opinion, because opinion based questions will be asked in your interview. So you need to be prepared from the starting of your preparation itself. So according to me, the one important reason I can say here is, so if you're talking about this monsoon rains, okay. So monsoon rains here is not, we can say like southwestern rainfall, which mainly nothing but our Indian monsoons. So here these Indian monsoons mainly hit this Kerala coast on June 1st, and later on it will be divided into two branches like Bay of Bengal branch and as well as Arabian Sea branch, and they will proceed. So whenever they are moving, okay, what happened here, it will leads to good amount of rainfall, and here that leads to dry spells. But here in this Bay of Bengal branch, it will mainly cause good amount of rainfall here in northeastern states. And as you all know, economy of India, it is primarily based on agriculture. So Indian economy, it is based on agriculture, right? And if you are talking about industries also, they are not much concentrated in this central India, in this Rajasthan and as well as Madhya Pradesh. So we are having some mines, okay? We are having some mines here in this Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh area here, okay. So in that area we can get some resources. So we are extracting resources there and we are transporting those resources for other areas, other states. So this is the one important cause of reason that according to me that is leading to poverty here. And there is no proper industries, or we can say like proper development that is mainly seen in these areas. And this is the one of the reasons according to me, and let me know what are the further important reasons that are contributing for low development and as well as high poverty levels in this area if you are belonging to that so and so state. So here this article says that Bihar, okay, Bihar, about over 50% of population is poor. So what are the reasons behind the lack of development and high levels of poverty in that region? Let me know in comment box. Okay, and one important dimension I can say here is the people from Bihar and as well as Chhattisgarh and as well as some people from Odisha, they are mainly moving towards Maharashtra, Gujarat and some southern states, especially to get some jobs or especially to work in so and so industries. So even though if you're revising your current affairs, I think 6 to 7 months back, so there is allegation that the migrant people who are coming from this Bihar and as well as Chhattisgarh, they are doing some crimes in Gujarat and as well as Maharashtra. So because of that also that led to mob lynching. So if you are following daily current affairs and if you are revising current affairs, you might be also knowing about this fact, and you can also relate this thing with this. Okay, so in this way your answer should be a multi-dimensional way. So now let us try to see the details of this topic, and let me know what are the homework, what are the opinions I am asking here. Please try to ensure that your opinion that should be there in comment box for sure. So how many people they are watching this current affairs analysis? So each and every person comment should be there. So don't fear about commenting. Like whatever you know, try to comment in comment box. Okay, it is nothing like whatever you are saying is wrong, whatever you are saying is absolutely right. Not like that, but you have to share your opinion. So whenever you start your sharing your opinion, then only you can think out of box. I want to make my students to think out of box, and they should never fail to answer any question that asked in interview. Okay, so I want to develop you this skill. So please try to comment in comment box regarding what are the reasons behind poverty. Okay, and now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that more than 50%, okay, more than 50% of population, especially in Bihar, identified as multidimensionally poor. They are poor multidimensionally. For example, what is multidimensionally here? For example, if you are talking about education, if you are talking about health, if you are talking about standard of living. So if you are talking about this health, so I think 10 months ago or 1 year back, so in Gorakhpur, because of lack of oxygen cylinders, number of children they died, right? Okay, so here this is the one important thing we can also connect with this health here. Okay, so if you see context, it mainly says that 50%, that is more than 50% of population in Bihar identified as multidimensionally poor, and the state has the maximum percentage of population living in poverty among all the states and union territories. So this is according to data which is made released by Niti Aayog. Okay, Niti Aayog Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index. So I want to say one thing. So this is for the first time we have this multi-dimensional poverty index in India. So now let us try to focus on some important details which are given in this article. So according to the index, which mainly says that 51.91% of population in Bihar, it is poor. And after Bihar, the second state here is Jharkhand, next one is Uttar Pradesh, and the next one is Madhya Pradesh, and next one is Meghalaya. So these are the states which are having higher rate of poverty. And if you are talking about the states which are doing good, the first one is Kerala. Kerala registered the lower poverty levels of just 0.71%. So let me know here, what is the reason? What is the reason behind good performance of Kerala in this multi-dimensional poverty index? So one reason I can say here is Kutumbashri and as well as self-help groups in Kerala. Okay, so this type of the innovations that are not present in central Indian states and as well as even Bihar, etc. Okay, so Kutumbashri and as well as self-help groups in Kerala, it is one of the important reason behind that. And next here is Pondicherry, next one is Lakshadweep and as well as Goa. Even Goa it is performing better. And next one is Sikkim. Okay, so here you need to remember this data for sure. And next one is other states and union territories where they are mainly performing good, which are having less than 10% of poverty. They include Tamil Nadu, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Mizoram. So here you have to remember these also. And if you are coming from which state, so where your state it is standing, that is also very important from your interview. Okay. And next one is the development of National Multidimensional Poverty Index of India. It is an important contribution towards instituting a public policy tool. And whenever we are having this type of data, that will be very much helpful for mainly to come up with evidence-based focused interventions. If so and so state which is very much doing good in education means we can spend that money for in other areas like health. So So if so-and-so state which is mainly doing good in health, it is lacking in education means, so it can come up with the policy decisions and that can invest much in education. So in this way, this type of data, this type of reports are very, very important for evidence-based and focused interventions, such that this will be helpful for ensuring that no one is left behind. And if you see furthermore, it mainly says that India's National Multidimensional Poverty Index, which mainly measures globally accepted robust methodology. And who developed this methodology? So this methodology mainly developed by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, and even UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. And if you see furthermore, importantly, as a measure of multidimensional poverty, it mainly captures multiple and simultaneous deprivation which mainly faced by households. So if you're talking about what are the indicators based on this multidimensional poverty index which is mainly came up, there are about 12 indices. So here it mainly includes health, education and even standard of living. So this is about this topic and I hope it is much clear, and I try to give different dimensions regarding this topic. Now let us try to see next question. It is about Russia, India, China meet reveals Indo-Pacific Gap. So what is the gap which is present in this Indo-Pacific region and Asia-Pacific region, that we are going to discuss now. So before saying this, please try to ensure that you have watched yesterday's lecture. And yesterday's lecture we studied about this SCO concept, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So you have to connect this topic with your yesterday's lecture. So this topic which is important from our GS paper 2 under international relations. So now let us try to see this topic. And this topic it is important from your mains, not from prelims. So from prelims you can refer this facts regarding this SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that virtual meeting between foreign ministers of Russia, India and China, they mainly revealed there are some differences between foreign minister of India, Russia and as well as China, especially regarding this Indo-Pacific region. So in this Indo-Pacific region, so there are differences between India, Russia and as well as China. So if you're talking about role of India in Indo-Pacific region, so as you all know that India plays an important role in this Indo-Pacific region. So because of this, India became part of number of organization or regional groupings like Quad. And even because of increasing of relevance of Indo-Pacific region now, so recently we saw that is AUKUS. AUKUS, it is trilateral strategic partnership between what? Australia, UK and US. So under this AUKUS, we saw what are the advantages that Australia is going to get. So here Australia is going to get submarines. So what happened here? Now there are many differences that is mainly seen between Russia, India and as well as China regarding this Indo-Pacific region. So if you see some details, it mainly says that Russia and China mainly consider this Indo-Pacific region as an exclusive concept. It is not an inclusive concept. So according to this Russia and China, they say that Asia-Pacific region, it is inclusive concept but not Indo-Pacific region. And recently here Chinese Foreign Affairs Minister, he mainly gave up a statement like, so Indo-Pacific region, it is not a partnership of equals, but he mainly supported Asia-Pacific region, it is a more inclusive and as well as harmonious framework than compared to that of this Indo-Pacific region. But what India says? India says that we need Indo-Pacific, that should be an inclusive region. Okay. So because of that, here between Russia, China and India, there are some differences regarding this Indo-Pacific region. India along with US, Japan, Australia, we formed this Quad group, that is quadrilateral dialogue. So this quadrilateral dialogue which is mainly focusing to ensure free open maritime lines in this Indo-Pacific region. But this Quad which is mainly condemned, it is not approved by China. Okay, apart from that, China's statement which mainly referred to such growing grouping. such growing grouping, whenever they are focusing on open, inclusive Indo-Pacific region, that will leads to incitement of Cold War like situations. So this is a thing which mainly shared by China. And next one is, the statement mainly referred to patchwork of small circles, while indirectly referring to the Quad initiative, and urged all the three countries to jointly deal with these global challenges. And finally, in this SCO summit, they mainly said that they need to come together and they need to jointly deal with the challenges which are mainly seen in this Indo-Pacific region. Okay, so here it referred to Sino-Russian Indian spirit of openness, solidarity, trust and cooperation, which can fight epidemics, and as well as they will be helpful to provide stability to the world. So this is the gist of this topic, and I hope it is at most clear. Now let us try to see next topic. It is about Covishield. So actually in India we have two COVID-19 vaccine candidates. First one is Covishield. Second one is Covaxin. Right? So these are the two vaccine candidates which are mainly present in India. So this article mainly talking about this Covishield effectivity or effectiveness regarding this Delta variant. So this article will be important from our health point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And even we can correlate this topic with vaccines development, vaccine effectivity or effectiveness in our science and technology point of view as well. And you can also relate this topic regarding how these vaccines mainly work, working principles of this vaccine, which mainly comes under our science and technology as well. So now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that 2 shots of this Covishield, okay, 2 shots, that means 2 doses of this Covishield vaccine, which mainly gives about 63% of protection against SARS coronavirus infection. Okay, so it is mainly give protection of about 63% against symptomatic coronavirus infection, and it also gives about 85% of protection against moderate and severe disease. So this is according to study which mainly conducted in Haryana. So in Faridabad, one study which mainly conducted regarding analyzing effectiveness of this Covishield, and it mainly focusing to assess effectiveness of these vaccines. Okay, so now let us try to see some details. So here I want to give you another homework for you people. So please do revision regarding Covishield vaccine. Already we discussed about this topic number of times in our Hindu analysis. So now it is your turn to do revision regarding this Covishield. So if you see details, it mainly says that the study notably was conducted during the second wave when Delta variant was dominant. Okay, so during the second wave of coronavirus that we experienced, during that time this study mainly done. So at that time what happened, there were higher infections regarding this Delta variants that is seen across the country. So while several studies mainly did the latest study, they shown that vaccination elicited fewer neutralizing antibodies against this Delta variant. Okay, so actually there are many studies which are mainly focused on this Delta variant and as well as vaccines regarding this Delta variant, and they said that they are releasing less amount of neutralizing antibodies regarding this Delta variant. Okay, when we are comparing with the other wild type of variants of this coronavirus, already we know that there are number of variants like alpha variant, beta variant, gamma variant, kappa variant, etc. So this study regarding this Delta variant itself. So in this Delta variant, there are many studies which mainly conducted earlier. They mainly said that there are less number of neutralizing antibodies. They are developed regarding this Delta variant. Okay, but this study, this Haryana study mainly found that there was not any significant reduction in cellular immunity. That is, we can talk about here T cell immunity. There is nothing like decreasing of this T cell immunity when we are taking this vaccine regarding this Delta variant. So here if you are talking about this T cell immunity, which mainly resulted from body learning to destroy coronavirus after being taught to do so from either a vaccine or a previous infection, was considered more long lasting than the protection which conferred by this neutralizing antibodies. So whenever we are taking these vaccines, we will be getting some immunity. That is, we will be developing our neutralizing antibodies against this coronavirus. So rather than this neutralizing antibodies, our body will learn how to fight against this coronavirus. That is nothing but this T cell immunity. So this T cell immunity, which is a long lasting immunity. Okay. So here this article mainly says that though India is now seeing a downswing of this confirmed cases, that is, there is decreasing of number of COVID-19 cases. So the several parts of other countries, like for example, you can talk about Europe, you can talk about Africa, you can talk about US, they are witnessing again there is a breakthrough or increase or spike of these infections. Okay, even though there is a full vaccination, even though they are mainly talking about this booster dose, there is increasing of number of cases or new cases of this COVID-19 because of variants. So especially in South Africa, there is a new variant, that is Omicron, we discussed in our first article, right? So finally, this article says that Haryana study in this Faridabad, they found this vaccine Covishield is about 67% of effectiveness, that is mainly recorded against this Delta virus as well. So this is gist of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. Now let us move on to next topic. Title says a close reading of NFHS, that is National Family Health Survey 5, the health of India. So here this article will be very much relevant from our mains point of view, especially from health point of view. This health comes under GS paper 2. Okay. So if you're talking about central theme, it mainly says that given how little the country spends on health and education as a share of GDP, improvements need to be made. So here actually, if you're talking about spending regarding health and education, we are spending very little when we are comparing with other countries as well. So here this article says that yes, we need to focus on spending on health and access education. So regarding health, due to this coronavirus, there is somewhat, we understand what is the relevance of spending on health, but regarding education, we didn't realize it. So here this article says that especially we need to focus on spending on health and access education. So here we are going to see some highlights of this survey. So if you're talking about this National Family and Health Survey 5, it is one of the most comprehensive survey on socio-economic and as well as health indicators in the country. And here this National Family and Health Survey 5 released. The previous 4 rounds of this National Family Health Survey, which mainly conducted in 1992-93, 1998-1999, 2005, 2006 and as well as 2015 and 16. So if you see some highlights, it mainly says that women outnumber men, fertility has decreased. Women outnumber men. That means we can see there are more women for men. That is 1020 women for 1000 men according to this 2019-2021 survey. And here TFR, that is total fertility rate, has been decreased. Okay. And if you're talking about this total fertility rate, it also has been come down below the threshold which population is expected to replace itself from one generation to next generation. So in TFR it is 2, earlier it is 2.1. So what is this TFR means? In reproductive age of a woman. Okay. So in reproductive age of a woman, how many children she will give birth, that is our total fertility rate. So if you are comparing with this total fertility rate in northern India and as well as southern India, in southern India it is less when compared to that of northern India. So this is also one dimension you have to think. And if you are talking about child nutrition improved, but it is at a very slow pace. That means in stunting, in wasting. Okay. So when you are comparing with 2015 to 16, it is improved, but it's a very slow. And next one is, India might be food secure, but nutrition is a problem for adults, because even though we became self-sufficient after this green revolution which introduced in year 1960s. So in 1960s in India, green revolution mainly introduced, and because of this green revolution there is increasing of food production, and from importer level we became as an exporters of food grains. So what happened, even though India became self-sufficient in food production, so here 60% of Indians, they cannot afford nutritious diet. So this is one cause of concern. And this is the infographic I took, okay, in our recent Hindu newspaper. Already we discussed this infographic. And if you're talking about this survey, that is National Family Health Survey, which is a large scale and it is a multi-round survey. And this survey mainly conducted by representative sample of household that mainly done throughout our country. And in this National Family Health Survey, which has been conducted under a stewardship of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, which mainly conducts this, okay. And here this National Family Health Survey 5, which mainly includes some new focal areas, for example death registration as well as preschool education, that is Anganwadis, and it also explained about children immunization and also focused on components of micronutrients to children and menstrual hygiene. So these are also included under this survey. And every National Family Health Survey which has two specific goals. So here you need to know what are those goals. So first one is to provide essential data needed by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and even other agencies for informed decision and as well as policy making and as well as program intervention process, etc. Okay, for program intervention purposes and for proper decision making and as well as to come up with any new program. So this data is very helpful. And this one is, so this data will also provide some insights regarding important health and as well as family welfare issues. Okay, important emerging issues, we can also know about that. So this is gist of this topic. I hope it is very much clear. And now let us try to see next topic. So before saying that, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So we are very happy to announce the courses of Rathod's IAS, that is prelims test series and even mains answer writing course and even new foundational course and individual courses. So here we came up with this prelims test series, and in this test series we are going to provide 30 tests, includes GS and as well as CSAT. And this course, it is exclusively useful for students who are going to prepare for 2022 examination. And what are the important highlights? Important highlights include comprehensive coverage of syllabus, micro listing of topics, and the questions are based on UPSC standards. And there is also negative marking provided here in this test series. And this test series will be helpful to understand question standard, and even this will be very much helpful for answering techniques, and you can practice your elimination techniques here, and it will be also helpful for time management in your final exam. And if you're talking about this mains answer writing course, here we are exclusively focusing on your static syllabus. It includes GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 along with your essay and case studies. And there is a detailed planning of completing of static syllabus within 1 year. So we divided topics based on their importance. That is, we are giving much importance for GS1 and GS4. They are almostly static syllabus. And GS2 and GS3, they are mainly related to our current affairs. And questions are based on current affairs based static questions here. There will be evaluation. We provide you model answer and detailed timetable and micro listing of topics. And we also came up with foundational course. There are about more than 700 hours of classes, such that you can have a detailed knowledge regarding each and every topic which is given in our syllabus. And we also came with some individual courses. If you want to take individual courses like geography, history, economy, ethics like that, you can also take that. So details of these courses are given in description box, and I will say that I will give you 100% assurance that if you join this mains answer writing courses and this foundational course, there will be 100% syllabus coverage. You are going to improve your answer writing as well. So please don't forget to join these courses. We are also providing one-to-one mentorship as well. So now let us try to see this article. Title says Shore Up the Lifeline. So this article mainly talking about this MGNREGA. So in yesterday's lecture, we studied some background regarding this topic. And now let us try to see what is given in this article. So after reports which indicated clearly that states are running out of their funds, now recently government said that they are going to allocate about 10,000 crore rupees in additional funds for this MGNREGA scheme. So if you see recent report, we saw that there are a number of states which are mainly having some negative balance regarding this scheme. So in this way we can understand what is the inference like. There is a fund crunch mainly suffered by this scheme. So why there is fund crunch? Because of there is increasing of demand. There is increasing of demand for this MGNREGA and there is low budget outlay that is given for this scheme. So because of this we can say like, so there is a financial crunch which mainly seen in this scheme. So why there is a high demand? Because of abruptly imposition of lockdown due to this COVID-19 pandemic. So the migrant laborers, they started moving towards their hometowns, and in their home villages they started mainly registering to this MGNREGA scheme, and they are getting some livelihood or work and they will be getting some income. Okay, so because of this high demand, there is increasing of work outlays. Works are given much for this people who are enrolling into this MGNREGA scheme. And on another side we are seeing there is a lack of funds. Okay, and because of this lack of funds there is delay in payments. So even there are some reports like only for SC and ST communities you are getting wages on time, but not other communities. We also discussed this topic in our earlier lectures. So in fact, even during this economic crisis, during this pandemic, rural sector sustained the poor by providing them guaranteed work. Okay, so under this MGNREGA scheme, especially in the rural areas, rural poor, they are getting guaranteed work under this scheme. So recently it increased from 100 days to 150 days, especially in Tamil Nadu state, and we need to see whether it will be continued in other states or not. So the delay of payments and lack of funds, they have contributed to an estimated unmet demand. Okay, so in especially in Bihar there is 20%, and even in Telangana and as well as Gujarat states, they are having lack of funds. So in this context here, government mainly said that during this COVID-19 pandemic, they mainly came up with this Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, that is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. And recently 3 days back we discussed that government has extended this scheme till March. So this is also one important step that is taken by government, which is mainly supporting the livelihood of people, and as well as it is ensuring food security for the people. So here finally this article says that we need to focus on this allocations for this scheme because it is mainly providing livelihood for number of people from the rural areas. Okay, so this is gist of this topic. So apart from this, there are 2 articles regarding Amul Cooperative Society and even GST rates. You have to refer these topics and this is your homework. And these 2 articles which appear in page number 6 itself. So by this I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. Thank you so much.